Hi everyone, nubkeks here, welcome back to Nub Raids, and in today's video I'm going to give you my guide, especially looking at this calendar of these events, my free-to-play or low-spender guide for how to complete this fragment event for Nari the Lucky, where you're going to need to prioritize your stuff, where this can easily go wrong. I think this one actually looks to be reasonably challenging. By the way, the news is in the game and you can sort of see this stuff right here. There should be a link on their Discord to get to the calendar if you want to see that yourself, of course, as well. We have stuff popping off already. Before we look at the stuff, let's just take a quick look at Nari the Lucky and talk about whether or not he is worth it. Now, I don't have access to his multipliers yet. The dude looks cool, though. He's got this really cool sickle. His shield on his back looks badass as well. I think the guy looks awesome. Like this little sort of leprechaun goblin looks cool, especially for a dwarf. Very different, very fun. If you look at his base stats are excellent. He's got really good base HP, really good base defense. His damage scales off of defense, great base speed, good resistance, and actually baseline. So his base stats are brilliant. He's actually got 2 reviews already. Wow, people giving him 5s across the board. I actually think he's very good, guys. His A1 is going to be a single target attack, books up to 75% chance to steal a random buff from the target. That works with his A3 quite well. It's a decent A1, not amazing, but it's decent. His A2 is really good, Rainbow of Woe. This books to a 3-turn cooldown. Again, I'm not sure how hard it hits, but it is an AoE attack that books to 100% chance to put decreased accuracy and decreased resistance for 2 turns. He's the only champion in the game that has a move like this at the moment. This is just really good. This is super strong. This is going to be fantastic for any difficult content. Doom Tower, Hydra, wherever you're going in. Being able to decrease resistance makes it much easier to build stats on your team. And decrease accuracy is very powerful as well, especially for Hydra, especially against Head of Mischief. Being able to decrease its accuracy and stop it stealing your turn meter, stop it stealing your buffs is a complete game changer. Then he also has another AoE, which, nice enough, is booking down to a 4-turn cooldown AoE attack, again based on defense, 100% chance to provoke. Also puts counterattack on him for 2 turns, so then he can start going in and stealing these buffs. Again, I think this is excellent. Really good. I think especially if you're interested in Hydra, and I think you should be because they're going to keep adding more Hydra content, I think he's going to make your runs much easier, right? Just for controlling that Head of Mischief, which is one of the most annoying things about it. He's going to be insane for it, right? Because he can go in, decrease its accuracy, and then he can put counterattack on himself. So if you build him with enough resistance, he's going to have an extra buff the rest of your team won't have. So he will be, more often than not, especially if he starts stealing any buffs, he will most likely be the target of Head of Mischief, and he can just tank it up and keep counterattacking it, stealing buffs back off if it does steal anything. Like, he can do some awesome stuff. And then Joyful Song, this is really cool as well. At the start of this champion's turn, transfers a random buff from a random enemy to a random ally. Now, this might be bad. This is why I need to play test him first to be 100% sure. But the fact that it puts a random buff to a random ally, that might throw off this whole Head of Mischief tanking theory thing. It might put too many buffs onto a random ally just at random, and you might end up a little bit screwed. So we'll have to see for sure if this works well. But it's also going to help you like steal increase attack off Head of Wrath and stuff like that. So I think it's going to be actually pretty good. Also increases his accuracy by 5 for each buff and each ally. This is actually much better than I thought it was initially. This is really strong. If you think about, let's say Lydia goes in and she puts out increased speed and strengthen on your whole team in Hydra, that's 2 buffs times 6, right? So that's 10 times 6. That's 60 accuracy right there for him. That's a lot. That is a lot of accuracy. So it's going to add up very quickly to give him a lot of bonus, and it's going to mean that you can crank his resistance a bit higher, leave his accuracy a little bit low, and he's still going to be able to land this debuff. So I think he's going to be really good. I'm certainly going for him, but it's not going to be easy. Right, let's take a look here at the calendar. Let's take a look at these events. So the first thing I want to point out, guys, this is quite dangerous. I'm slightly in the way. Let me zoom in and let me move this over. That's better. Look at this. Wow, Photoshop Pro. Okay, so this is dangerous. We got 155 total fragments, right? But 55, sorry, not 55 from tournaments, 40 are coming from leaderboards. Now, this is very important. If you're free to play, if you're low spender, and really just as a practical guideline, you want to never rely on winning a tournament for extra fragments. That is something you absolutely cannot guarantee, and it can absolutely screw you. And what does that mean? That means that we have 115 fragments. Beautiful writing here. We have 115 fragments realistically up for grabs. 115. That's it. So you can miss 15 fragments and that's it. If you miss more than 15, you're going to have to win some tournaments to catch back up. And that's very dodgy. And again, this is where it gets dodgy. Summon Rush. We got 20 fragments. Champion Chase, another 20. Let me make that neater. Champion Chase is another 20, right? So we have 40 fragments from these summoning events, Summon Rush, and this is going to be almost definitely a 2 times Sacred Shard event for Champion Chase. You have to get 25 of these fragments, right? You have to max out one of these events, and then you have to get 5 from the other one, or else you've got to really push hard in one of these tournaments. That's pretty tough, right? Easiest way to do Summon Rush is with Sacred Shards, and this is also a 2 times Sacred. That is a lot of Sacred Shards. That is pretty intimidating. What is my plan? What am I going to do? I am actually going to be pulling all of my Sacreds this weekend, so you can check it out. I'll publish the video. I'm going to pull them after recording this video. I'm away at a wedding all day tomorrow, and actually for most of the day today, it's like an Indian wedding, so it's going to be across multiple days. Albeit we're in Ireland, it's sort of like an abridged version, so it works in Ireland, but still multiple days sort of thing. But I'm going to pull all my Sacreds tomorrow, so I can go in and grab all the fragments from this Summon Rush. Now, that is something that you may not be able to do if you don't have that many Sacreds. It's a lot of Sacreds that you need. You need 7 to get this much, right? That's a good lot of Sacreds. If you don't have that many, you should grab the 5, and then you might need to pull potentially a lot of shards in order to get, you might need to really dip deep to max out the Champion Chase, right? That's going to be pretty intimidating. It's going to be pretty expensive. Hope that you're lucky with Sacred Shards. You might need to pull a bunch of stuff. If you've saved up any fragment summons like I have with these 2, that will help you as well. But bear this in mind. I think this is going to be the biggest stumbling block for this event, is that you really do need to get you need to get a ton of fragments out of these summon events. It's not something you can skip. Right, so that's one part. Now, the other thing I want to look at is your energy and where you want to be spending it. So I actually did this up already, and I did it like this. So to take you through, right, basically right here, Ice Golem. So the start of Ice Golem, actually not that important, guys. We're not going to need to stress about this. I do recommend, you might as well spend some energy here, getting some Ice Golem points, get them out of the way. That's fine. You could also start getting some food up, right, for champion training. You could start working on champion training a bit here. That might be fine as well. It's really going to depend on whether or not they put on super raids. If super raids are going to be up during these dungeon events, then it's much easier in terms of time. If they're not up, it will take a lot of time, a lot of grinding to get through them. So you might want to get on them a bit early, in which case I'd start early right over here. But basically, we've Dungeon Divers is going to be starting on Sunday. So I'd recommend getting a bit of Ice Golem done here, and then really focusing Ice Golem during Sunday, and try to finish Ice Golem by the end of Monday. This is deceptive, right? Over here, this is not going to be on for all of Tuesday. That is completely deceptive. It looks like each of these tournaments is on for 4 days. That is not the case, right? It's not on for 4 days. It's actually on for 3 days, but it's going to be like it starts on Tuesday and it ends on Friday. So for me in Ireland, for example, these tournaments usually start, it will probably start at 9 a.m. on Tuesday, and it's going to end on 9 a.m. on Friday. So the idea that I can do it on Friday is simply not true. So be very aware of that. Again, I really recommend finishing Ice Golem Sunday, Monday is your time for Ice Golem. Sunday, Monday for Ice Golem. I think Tuesday and Wednesday, get Spider done nice and early would be my recommendation. And that's very doable because Spider is, so Tuesday, Wednesday doing Spider. Spider is a very quick dungeon to grind. Get that done quick. That's also going to give you enough silver to handle artifact enhancement. You get a lot from Spider, so that shouldn't be a problem. Be saving all of your silver. We've got 3 artifact enhancement events. You are never going to be spending any silver outside of these events. Get your fragments and stop would be my recommendation if you're going to be tight on silver. That would be my recommendation. So yeah, we're going to do Spider there. When we finish Spider on Wednesday, for Thursday, Friday, we really want to focus hard on this champion training. Now, this is a long event. This is very likely to have very high points requirements here. So you may not get this finished Thursday, Friday. May not get it finished, and that's okay. we have time to sort of grind it out as we go. I would certainly, when it comes to Saturday, Sunday, so the following weekend, that's overlapping with that 2 times Sacred most likely, I'd really be focusing on Dragon Tournament for Saturday and Sunday. Get that done in those 2 days. You're going to have a bit of overlap here with some Dungeon Divers on Sunday. You're going to try finish off this Dungeon Divers then with the Fire Night Tournament on Monday, Tuesday. And yeah, you might need to push this Fire Night Tournament back a bit. You might need to finish Champion Training alongside your Dragon. Like, this could take a lot of time, right? So you might be weaving some Champion Training in alongside of this. So you can absolutely use these last couple of days with Fire Night if you need to. You know, this is one that, well, actually, excuse me, I should say, it's not going to be up on Thursday, is it? So that's completely cheeky. You're going to want to do it here. And yeah, you're going to want to finish Champ Training by the Sunday for sure. Again, we are being deceived. We are being deceived here by this appearing to be longer than it is. I think this Champion Training Tournament is not going to be too bad. It's at the end, so you're just going to be sort of grinding this out with the last few days. So I think the big danger points, if I go to purple here, I think the big danger points here is really, you know, this whole section right here is going to be your big danger point. So Thursday next week, basically next weekend, is going to be the hard part, where you're going to have to get this Champion Training event is tough. It's overlapping with Dragon. It's overlapping with Fire Night. That's going to be kind of tricky, and this Dungeon Divers too. These are the ones I'm watching out for. So if I were you, I would be holding on to gems and stuff, and I'd definitely be looking to spend my gems for extra energy refills, really put in time grinding around this part right here. This is going to be the tricky part. I think the start of this event is easy. I think this middle part is hard. And then, like I said, it's really getting those points, getting the fragments that you can get from these events is going to be really hard as well. And there's not much you can do about it. I mean, you're going to have to be going on this Dragon Tournament and going in this Champion Training. You'll have done all of these stuff. You're going to be halfway through potentially before you might know for sure. You might then get there and realize, can't win the Champion Chase. I can't get the things from Champion Chase. It's going to be tough. So I don't know. We'll see. Guys, thank you for watching. I hope this was helpful. I hope it was interesting. Yeah, I will see you soon. I'll obviously keep you updated as this stuff goes. And yeah, see you tomorrow. I'm going to go pull on my Sacred Shards now. And a couple of voids as well. So I'll see you for that very shortly. Thanks for watching. Subscribe if you like the content. And bye-bye.